how to fix Google Ads circumventing suspension. In this video session, I will show you what to look for if your Google Ads account has been suspended due to circumventing systems and you are unsure as to what's causing this, as in why did Google Ads suspended your account. Because if we look at the policy guidelines, here it says Google may review information from multiple sources, including your ad, website, accounts, and third-party sources. So, how do we then successfully recover our account if it's been suspended due to circumventing system triggers and so on, okay? First thing to do when we want to recover Google Ads suspended account is to first look at Tools and Policy Manager, because here we can see what policies are. You'll see information such as the suspension and how you can appeal and so on. But for most Google Ads advertisers facing this problem, they are actually unsure as to why this is happening. That's why what you want to do is look at Tools first. Obviously, look at Policy Manager, that's first. Then you want to look at Data Manager. And here double check if there are different Google products that's connected to your website. Now, why would you want to do that? Because you want to be familiar with the terms and conditions for using any Google product. Now, circumventing system, the policy violation and account suspensions occur due to mainly, let's go to account settings under admin. You want to double check third-party measurement here and also your tracking option. This is at account level. You also want to double check the final URL that you're running campaigns for, because when you create campaigns, you provided the URL for your landing page, correct? If that is the case, and if Google systems look at the final URL, and if there is a discrepancy, as in Google sees a different URL, and it could just as well be, on the landing page, you have links going out to some other websites, and then there is a problem with Google following links. And what I'm saying is circumventing suspensions usually occur due to the redirection of links. That includes the tracking templates. Because if you put tracking templates, provided final URLs to incorrect version of the landing page, and then when Google looks at it, it sees a different URL. Also, depending on what you're advertising, because you may be an affiliate marketer and you're advertising with Google Ads on a landing page that when people click on the links, they go to some affiliate website. And if that's the case, you want to double check the linking there. Linking to external sites, because circumventing systems can occur due to many reasons. As we can see, it'll look at your website, it'll look at your connected accounts, and also third-party sources. That means it will follow links from your website to some external site that you've got links towards, if you have them. That includes your connected accounts. Because Google Ads is tied to your Google account. Then you also have tools available that you want to double check. So I won't confuse the subject matter. Let's look at URL redirection check. You have tools on internet that will help you to double check the linking to see, you know what, is the linking working correctly? Here you want to see how the landing pages are redirected. Also, this is your final URL. So whatever the final URL you've provided in your campaigns, go to redirect checker and check the status of that to see, you know what, is everything working okay? Now, also, depending on the type of website that you have, you may want to provide the URL for your website and check for any security issues. If you're using Google Search Console and verified your website, you want to look at security issues related to your website and also manual actions. Then, because a website needs to follow Google guidelines, we need to be familiar with Google guidelines. That includes technical guidelines, as in technical requirements, spam requirements. We need to be at minimum familiar with these. Okay, let's take a look at spam policies. That includes cloaking. What does that mean? That means the final URLs in your campaigns, they have to work correctly. That means when Google sends website traffic to the landing page that you advertised, it's not showing something else. For most Google Ads account holders, having the suspension, that won't be a problem. But you still want to triple check the linking structure of your website, because that will fall within technical requirements, spam requirements, and spam policies. If Google Ads has suspended your account due to circumventing suspension, you need to look at spam policies and make sure that your website, not just the landing page you're advertising, but the entire website, is following the guidelines. As the policy told us, here we've got third-party sources. That means if your website is linked to some third-party sources, perhaps you want to remove the link from your website to those third-party sources. And within your data manager, you want to double check what you've connected to your Google account, Google Ads account. Now, depending on the type of setup that you have, I'll show you one more setting that you must triple check, and that is your main Google account that's created for Google Ads, because that could happen. And here under data and privacy, you want to look at that here and look at what apps or services connected to your Google account that you've created your Google Ads account with, and also third-party apps and services, because sometimes to log into third-party sites or to have certain functionality on our website, whether we're using plugins or applications, we may connect some third-party sites. So that could happen, perhaps for authentication purposes and so on. If that's the case, we want to see what they are on our Google account as well, because our Google account is tied to everything we're doing on with Google here as well, okay? And you can, if you're unsure as to what you've provided access to, you can always remove that access to third-party sources from your Google account. Now, at this moment, you may think, well, that's my Google account. It's not my Google Ads account. It doesn't matter. You definitely want to check this out. The reason I share this is because certain websites have different functionalities and they use Google Cloud services that, perhaps for authentication, and that's a Google product. And if that's connected to your email account for your Google Ads, then that could trigger problems. And also within admin, you want to double check access and security. And you want to make sure that you are familiar with who has access to your Google Ads account. That includes the users, and also the security section is all clear. Because what happens is most small business owners, particularly when Google Ads suspends their account, they end up creating a different Google Ads account, thinking, okay, one ad account is suspended, let me just create another one and run ads within that. So we can't do that, if that makes sense. So when you follow these insights and double check the issues I've just highlighted, now you may not have technical skills, you may have hired some low quality people accessing your website, so they may have put some links into your website. If that's the case, you want to make sure you remove the access to the low quality service providers, and you also want to conduct security audit on your own website, particularly looking at links and so on. Because if there is some links going to some bad website, that will trigger circumventing suspension as well. So it's a thorough process to recover a suspended Google Ads account for circumventing system trigger. But nonetheless, you want to make sure that you are in good standing with your Google Ads account, because you want to recover it. Because then within your policy issues here, you can appeal. I'll share a link that goes here as well, but you can do that through logging into your Google Ads account. If you've got any questions or comments, use the video commenting section. One way or another, be patient, rewatch this video session if you must, and simply adhere to these core guidelines that usually trigger circumventing suspensions.